Okay, so now let's go to indirect proof. How can we apply tautology to indirect proof? We've already discussed on how we can apply tautology to what conditional proof. Then now let's go to what indirect proof. So for indirect proof, we also have steps by which you can resolve this argument. The first step says that what? One, you assume the negation. Okay, you assume the negation of the given tautologous statements as your first premise. Okay. Second step says that what? You assume the given statements, the given tautologous statements the given tautologous statements as your what conclusion. Let me say as a derived conclusion. Okay, under the rule of IP. Now, step 3, manipulates the rule of inference and replacements to arrive at a contradiction. So these are the 3 steps that we should follow when we are solving arguments under application of tautology to indirect proof. So now let's take this example. And we say we have A implies B, all into brackets, or open brackets, okay, A implies not B. So the first step is that what? You should assume the negation. You know, unlike the conditional proof, we assume the antecedent. But here, we are assuming the what? The negation. The negation of the given tautologous what? Statement as our first premise. So that means our first premise here of what? Negation of A implies B, or A implies not B. Okay? Then, steps 2 say that what? You should assume the given tautologous statement as your derived conclusion under the rule of IP. Then our conclusion will be A implies B, or A implies not B. IP. So, this is it. Sorry, because of space, that's I had to get that. So now, let me write it like this. Let me just say, okay. Therefore, A implies B, or A implies not B. So, under the rule of what? IP. Okay? So, now the next one says that what? Manipulate the rule of inference and replacement to arrive at a contradiction. Yeah, in as much you arrive at a contradiction, then you are good to go. You don't need to start working towards your what? Conclusion. And yeah, in our rule of indirect proof, when we are giving arguments, the first thing we need to do is what? To assume the negation of the conclusion, right? As our additional premise. But here, we only assume the what? Negation of the given statement as our additional premise. Then we assume that same statement as our what? Conclusion. Then we now what? Manipulate using our rules of what? Inference and replacement. We don't need to assume the negation of this one again, since we have what? We have already assumed the negation here. So since we've gotten our premise and conclusion, then we just have to what? Manipulate. Okay, using the rule of inference and replacement. Now here, we have negation of this or this. Then under the rule of De Morgan says when we have negation P and Q is equivalent to what? Negation P or negation Q. And we have negation P or Q is equivalent to what? Negation P and negation Q. So the same thing applies. What happens here? This A implies B or A implies not B. This one is equivalent to our P, while this is equivalent to our Q. Then we have negation A implies B or A implies not B. Then our line 2 will be what? Negation A implies B, okay, and negation A implies not B. That is what? Line 1, De Morgan. Then line 3, make use of De Morgan in our words. Line 1. Line 3, for line 3, we can just what? Simplify. We can what? Simplify by saying that not A implies B. Line 2, simplification. You go to line 4. We are looking at what? Contradiction. Okay? So for line 4, we can what? Since we already simplified, we can also what? Commutate by saying negation of A implies not B and negation of A implies B. That is what? Line 2, commutation. We have not arrived at a contradiction yet. Then we simplify again. Negation of A implies not B. That is line 4, simplification. We go to line 6. Negation A implies B. Negation A implies not B. What are we going to do? We make use of implication, material implication, and the rule of replacement. Then we say negation A or B. Line 3, implication. Okay. 7, negation A, negation A or B. Then we make use of what? De Morgan. That gives us negation A and B. Line 7, De Morgan. Okay. So let's go to line 8. Line 8. We can just simplify. Negation A. Line 7, simplification. 9. Negation. This is what? Double negation. Negation A is equivalent to what? A. You say 8. Double negation. Now we've gotten our positive what? statements. Now I want to make it look, we are not looking for our what? Negative statements. Then we are not done yet. We still have other steps to make use of. Now we are making use of our line 4. Line 5. No, line 3 rather. So we now want to make use of our line 5. Let me just clean this place. Okay. So I think this one is long. I'll use one that is smaller. Now, let's line 10. Okay. Our line 5 says that what? Negation A implies negation B. The same steps that we used to get our positive A is the same step we are going to use to get our negative A. So we now have negation A or negation B. That is line 5 implication. Make use of what? Material implication. There's 11. What's with the Morgan? Negation A and negation B. Then the Morgan 12. What are you going to do? Just simplify. Negation A. 11. Simplification. Then 13. You say that what? Then since we have negation, oh sorry, it is A. This is A. Okay, so negation A or negation B. We now have negation A and negation B. Then you simplify it, negation A. We've already gotten our what? Negative statement. We've gotten our positive statement here, and we've gotten our what? Negative statement here. Then what are we going to do? What are we looking for? We are looking for what? Contradiction. Then we can now say A and not A. That is line 9 and line 12. Conjunction. That is that. We've arrived at our what? Contradiction. The first step says that what? We should assume the negation of the given statements as our what? First premise. Then the second step says that we should assume the given statements as our conclusion under the rule of IP. After that, we should manipulate our rules of inference and replacement to arrive at what? Contradiction. Now, how do we start arriving at a contradiction? My line 2 is what? I make use of what? Morgan. To separate this my what? Line 1. To get this my line 2. So for the Morgan, we have negation A implies B or A implies not B. It gives me this. Negation A implies B and negation A implies not B. Line 1, the Morgan. Then for my line 3, I simplify my line 2 to get negation A implies B. In my line 4, I did commutation by interchanging this one and this one. So, and I have negation A implies not B and negation A implies B. Then this one, that takes me to my line 5. Since what I'm looking for is what? Contradiction. I simplify that also. Negation A implies not B. Line 4, simplification. Okay, then I started with another step. My line 6, I make use of material equal what? Implication. Okay, for this, since I have negation A implies B, then it's equivalent to what? Negation A or B. You know, implication is saying that when you have P implies Q, it's equivalent to what? Not P or Q. That's what I did there. Then, since that, I make use of what? De Morgan. De Morgan, negation. A, negation B. Okay? Sorry. And negation B. Okay? Then, what am I going to do? The next thing I did was what? To simplify this again. I simplify my number 7, it gives me negation A. And for negation A is equivalent to what? A. That gives me number 9. Then for my number 10, I use that same process to get my number 1. I use it on my line 5. And line 5 says that we have negation A implies negation B. Then in my line 10, negation A or negation B. Okay, negation A or negation B okay, negation A and negation B. Oh, there's a mistake. So that will give me negation A. Okay, I think there's a mistake here. So negation A and negation B. Negation A is equivalent to what? A. And let me just clean this. Negation A is equivalent to what? A. And negation B. That is what? Okay, I think the only thing I need here is my B. A cannot work. Yes. Because it should still give me A and A. So here that I use my my A, I should have just make it B. I should have just commutate and simplify. Okay, so let me correct this from here. We are still on track actually. I'll give another example. It makes simple. So now, I have negation A and negation B. Alright? That is my line 6. Okay, Morgan. Then what am I going to do? In my line 8, I will just say negation B and negation A. Line 7, commutation. Okay, then line 9, I just say negation B. 8, simplification. Now, the same thing that I did in line 3 is what I want to do in line 5. I make use of what? Material indication for line 5. Okay? Negation A or negation B. If you give me negation A and negation B. 10. Morgan. Now 12. I can just commutate by saying negation B and negation A. 11. Commutation. Now for my 13, what am I going to do? The same thing that I did here. I just say negation B. That is 12. Simplification. Then line 14 is what? B. 13. Double negation. And I'll say my line 15 is what? B and not B. That is 14 and 9. Conjunction. That's it. This one is long. Yes. Indirect, you need to understand your rule of replacement. When you want to make use of anything related to indirect proof. Okay? Especially application of tautology. In fact, you might see that the question is just a single statement. It's very simple. And it starts from you get to know that it's what? It's going on the 15 lines. So let me give one example. So let me give one example to explain better. Okay, so we are giving this statement A or A implies B. Okay, so this is a statement. Let's follow the steps. The first step says that what? We should assume the what? Negation of this given statement as our first premise. So that means our first premise will be negation A or A implies B. Then our conclusion will be what? Step 2. Step 2 says that we should assume the given statement as our conclusion. Therefore, A, okay, let me just say, therefore, A or A implies B under the rule of what? I, P. So that's our first and second word steps. The first step says we should assume the negation of the given tautological statement as a first premise. And the second step says that what? We should assume the given statement itself as our what? Conclusion under the rule of IP. Then step 3 now say we should manipulate our use of replace and replacement to arrive at a contradiction. Okay, so now let's manipulate. Let's manipulate. We have this. The same step that I used there is what I'm going to use in our first example. Negation A or A implies B. I'll make use of what? De Morgan. It should give me negation A and negation A implies B. Okay? That is line 1, De Morgan. Line 3, I can just simplify by saying negation A. Line 2, simplification. I've already gotten my what? Negative A. So I need my what? Positive A. So I'll now say line 4, I will commutate negation A implies B and negation A. That is my line 2 commutation. So line 5, okay, since this is not my final answer, I'm still going towards contradiction. The same step, I'll simplify. Not A implies B. 4, simplification. My line 6, the same step by using what? Material implication. I'll now say negation A or B. And line 5, simplification. How I did that to arrive this is what we are going to do here to arrive at our contradiction. Okay, so line 7, negation A or B. Remember our De Morgan theorem. Okay, so that will give us negation A and negation B. 6, De Morgan. So, and line 8 is what? I can just simplify by saying negation A. That is 7, simplification. And 9, negation A is equivalent to what? A. Use of what? Line 8, double negation. So, my line 10, I cannot say, now I've gotten my what? Positive A and I've gotten my negative A. I cannot say A and not A. That is 9 and 3. Conjunction. So I say that this one is not as long as this, but we make use of what? The same step. In as much we arrive at what? Contradiction. Now we arrive at what? Contradiction. Okay. Now, if let me take one more example. Okay, supposing we have. Let me take one example. Then. So if you say okay, so um you see that um it is okay. It is either I am writing or I am not writing. Okay, if I say it is either I am teaching or I am not teaching. So what does it say? What are we going to do? Well, the first step says that what we should assume the negation of the given tautological statement, right? Then you now say my step one will be what? Negation of T or not T. Then my conclusion will be what? Assumption. My step two says that we should assume the words, the given statement as our what conclusion. Then I'll not say T or not T. Then my line two, I'll not say that what? I'm not manipulating. Yes, I'll go to my step three. By manipulating. Since we have not T or not T, then I'll make use of the Morgan. Not T and not T. So my line one, the Morgan. Line three, not T is equivalent to what? T. Not T and T. Line two, double negation. For replacement, you can replace one side of your words argument and leave the other side, or you replace this side and leave the other side. Okay, that is for replacement. So 4, I can just commutate T and not T. Arrive at my words contradiction. I'll now say 3 commutation. This one is another IP. So I've arrived at my contradiction. So that is that on application of tautology to conditional proof and indirect proof. So any question that you have, drop it on the comment section, then I will look into them and give answers. Thank you very much.